A good reference for us for like where the shadows would meet in our actual level, and it will also help us to determine what our ambient occlusion would look like in our scene. I'll get into the bits of texturing another time, but for now we're focusing on the basics of modeling and how capable we can actually use it. So we also need in this scene is a little courtyard or whatever. So we have like this, for example. So I'm gonna move this basically like right over here. It doesn't have to be perfect. And basically I want to create like a nice little stand for a nice little, so we've created like a nice, so what we did earlier was I created like a rough base mesh of our actual stand of what could be kind of like a hollow terminal or something like that. Something from like Star Wars and also from other science fictions like Star Trek and all that. So I'm going to select my sphere, and I'm going to name this,
No teamwork.
I'm going to name this Hollow, or, yeah, there we go, Hollow. And I want this to be kind of like an actual, I want this to be like an actual stand, like for Star Wars and all that. So what I'm gonna do is like we did before with the hallway, is I'm gonna go into my orthographic mode, which I could click on perspective and go to ortho. And notice how everything kind of like went like a flat plane for us. So first, and when you rotate around and you press like F or R, it actually flattens out like your viewport. It actually makes it more planar. So back to our sphere. I can select, I can do like a marquee select and select up to about, I'm gonna say, about around here. And I'm just gonna delete it. I'm gonna go into edge or border. But I'm gonna go into border. If you find the grid to be annoying, like it is right now, to turn off your grid, press G to turn it off. And it won't be an issue. Now if you want to scale it down, you just hold shift and then you go, and just like we did with the actual corridor, we just scale it down. And actually just bring this out a bit. Not too much. And what I'm going to do is, I'm going to select these two polygons, here, 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 and here. Right where our cylinders are facing towards. So right where your polygon is facing towards. It's probably best. And then press the extrude settings, and we're just gonna bring this down a bit. And just press, and we'll create like an edge segment here, and I think we're good right here. The fact is, I want to make this planar. I want to make this so that it actually is flattened towards the ground. So for those who are having trouble with it, just you don't have to follow everything. Just watch on how I do it, and then I'll go over and help you guys out with that.
Yeah, that's like the bridging of the polygons, right?
No, it's extruded.
Yeah, the extruding, yeah.
So if I want to plane this out, I go into my modeling sub-ribbon for which is the graphite modeling tools. That's what it's called. And I go to align, and I press make planar. That's one way of doing it, and all you just have to do is just place it down like that. It's one way of doing that. Or I can actually go to my R axis. I can actually go to my scale tool, and I can scale this down by Z until it hits all the way towards to 0, and then I can just move this down. And if I want to model this a bit more and add like a few things, I can. By going into the isolation toggle right down here, or I can go and right click and select isolate selection. And I can quickly like model this out so that we create like an actual what's the word I'm looking for? An actual console input for like the actual hollow terminal. So I could actually scale this down, hold shift. And just like we did with earlier, the same technique can also be applied. And if I want to make sure that I'm correct, I can go and look at it from our actual scene. And to make sure that it is completely aligned with the actual geometry or whatever, I can go and right click on my angle snap toggle, and then I go to snaps, and then I go to vertex. And then finally I can, and the problem is with 3ds Max is, you would have to enable like, you would have to do another thing to enable like a full vertex snap properly. You have to press Alt D for this little circle to pop up on your pivot. And then all I have to do is just drag by hold Z, and then just move my mouse slowly until I actually see if it is lined up with my face. That the whole edge actually lines up with the face of the dead.
The face of the dead?
I did not say the face of the dead.
I know you said the face of the dead, but it sounded like it for a second.
So So here's also another thing that you need also to consider is that our cylinders are also in the way. Since I forgot to convert them into little polys. So let's actually work on that before we resume working on the actual sphere itself. So I'm going to convert this into an editable poly. And I'm actually going to do the same thing for the rest of these guys. And then, if I want to attach it, see it's where it says edit geometry? So, if I want to attach like all my objects, I just go to the edit geometry panel. And just attach the rest. Oh, static electricity sure likes me today.
Static electricity is gay.
So if I want to get rid of like these extras, which I probably just don't need, I just marquee select all the vertices, and then I hold shift, and I go to edges. I also select like the other last two here on all of the cylinders, and then I just hold, and I just press Control Delete to get rid of them. And now I can briefly attach our hollow to the cylinders. And then I can do a quick marquee select, and then I can carefully align this to our actual box right here. But I'm gonna turn off angle snaps and actually just move it out a bit just to avoid the static clipping. Here's a good question that I think everyone will probably know as a gamer. What breaks the immersion of a video game? What is the number one thing that would break the immersion of the actual game that you're actually playing? Like Devante has experienced many times while he was playing Smash.
Computer, slow down.
That's one of them.
Well, like it just actually run the same speed though. Like if it's playing the PlayStation 3 or 4, like it may slow the computer or something.
The other one is graphics issue, which is mostly in common with mesh clipping. Now what mesh clipping is that it's due to when another object is not properly placed and it's actually sharing the same position as its twin. So let me show you. this is mostly common in RPGs as well, like World of Warcraft, where in the animation you see like the actual boot coming through the actual cape or the robes that the person is wearing. Or in the actual environment where a tree is misplaced properly or an environment asset. So that's definitely bad. Or the classic Kirby jumped onto Samus and became one. And Smash.
So it looks like Smash Bros. 4.
Yeah. I'm showing the differences of why static clipping is bad in games. And we shouldn't have that in our environments at all. So it's completely bad to have that. There's also texture scenes as well. Which I will get to. Like this one. This one's also a texture scene as well, where you kind of like see like the thin lines, the UVs. That's also bad. So if everyone look up on the screen, you'll pretty much know why texture scenes are bad. It breaks the illusion, and also
That moment you realize your favorite character's body is cramped.
yeah.
Or your favorite video game waifu.
Or basically, or poor repetition in environments as well that is bad. Or you pretty much see the same object every 10 feet. Or the same hallway that you see every 10 feet. Or 20 feet or so. That's also bad.
It's insanity.
And or you see the common game glitches or in other words, game fails. So we see a classic game of Grand Theft Auto, Battlefield 4, and or Destiny, and we see like tons and tons of issues. Unfortunately, Knights of Chivalry also has this issue sometimes. Where in the actual game, where you have misplaced collision is also bad. So that's one of the short things that would actually break your actual immersion in video games. So, I feel like a break. So it's now
Have a good chat.
2:30. Jesus Christ! Why a half hour?
What?
I was just gonna say why a half hour break, but all right. All right. So we're gonna go and take a break. For now, we're gonna resume this until 3 or 2:45. So if you guys want to break for like 15 minutes, that's cool. And then I'll go around and help you guys out.
That was pretty funny though. Be a half-hour break.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We might have to change that.
That is true. We are not, because, like, we are expected to get like this soon, so
Yeah. We got everyone. But I pretty much had a good feeling that I want to do stuff. I was saying. Sorry if I went a little bit too overboard with the lecture. It's kind of like my little habit. This is a good, it's kind of like a good process. That's really good.
Oh no, this is animated request. Zachary's hair is actually not blue, it's blonde. My hair's not blue, it's actually brown.
actually making a hollow turtle. Taylor is.
Oh, that's right. How's it going, Dante?
Good.
You getting a lot done?
Huh?
You getting a lot done?
Yep.
Who's back in March?
Nice. How did your trip go, Crystal? Sweet.
Alright. I'm gonna take a break and see what's.
Totally rocking out to this, eh, Matthew?
Yeah.